What's up, everyone? Welcome back. This is Pedro and Paul this week. How's it going, Paul?
Yo, what's up? P squared. P squared in the house, right?
This week, we're going to cover a couple things that we watched recently. We're going to cover Monster, the Ed Gein Story on Netflix, which was #1 over the weekend. We're going to cover the HBO show Task, which is in its, I believe, penultimate episode of the miniseries. Um, I'm gonna quickly talk about the movie Steve, which also debuted on Netflix this week, and we're gonna hear from Paul about the Smashing Machine, which just came out in theaters this past week also. So we're gonna start it off with Paul, and he's gonna talk about the Smashing Machine.
Yeah, so I got a chance to see the Smasher Machine, and I wasn't. It had a lot of good moments. Dwayne the Rock Johnson did pretty well. I think his acting was superb compared to some of his other movies. It just felt like a lot of snippets put together. It didn't have like a really good flow. I know it's about the story of Mark Kerr and all that, and they tried not to dramatize it as much and try to keep it to real world. But it just felt like a bunch of snapshots. Some stuff fell out of context because you didn't have more background on the character. Um, but overall, I thought it was okay. It's not making a lot of money. It might be one of Dwayne the Rock Johnson's biggest flops. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it ends up doing. I thought it
Wow,
was
really?
okay.
I wasn't aware that it was flopping, man. I thought this was the trailer felt like it had that epic feel to it, so the trailer made me feel like it's gonna be one of the biggest movies of the year.
Are you an MMA guy?
No, not
Oh,
at
okay,
all.
okay. I used to watch back in the I used to watch a lot of Pride and stuff like that. Like the UFC, they even say it's like a different affiliation of UFC, but it was in Japan. Um, and they did a good job mirroring a lot of stuff, but the story was just so choppy. And then you would jump to a point and you'd be like, okay, so what's the background on this? And we didn't have any background on it because they cut those parts out. So I don't know. I would say it's definitely a good watch. Rock did a good job, but it's not as it's supposed to be as hyped as it was. It didn't live up to that hype.
So you're talking about, like, the flow of the movie, the way it flowed.
Yeah,
You
it was
didn't
just like
expect that.
snapshots of his life, and
Yeah.
it didn't have like an overall like felt very choppy, not
Yeah, he's not
cohesive.
a very the person, Dwayne Johnson is portraying is not a very well-known person, I would say. It's not like he's not like Hulk Hogan or someone that everyone knows about, so you definitely gotta add some, background, info on that. And yeah, man, I just did a search for the Smashing Machine, and the first stuff that pops up under top stories, like every article is about why the movie is flopping at the box office and Taylor Swift beat it at the box office.
Yeah, it's not doing
Damn,
well, and that
wow.
sucks because The Rock did pretty good job in it, but it's not a great movie.
It's also not I mean, it has the feel and look of an indie movie, you know? It's not like it's not like it's supposed to be a big blockbuster like a Marvel movie or anything, so it does have a 7 out of 10 right now on IMDb. It's got a 72% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's not people aren't hating it. I guess people just aren't going to watch it.
And
Maybe 'cause
it
it
almost
might
felt like the Mark Coleman movie, and like Mark Kerr was kind of like secondary to it. It felt like it was originally supposed to be like a Mark Coleman movie, and then but then you got to see it to understand. But Coleman was in it a lot, and they deviated from a lot of the stuff that was in the actual documentary. But yeah, whatever. I don't want to spend too much time on it. I would say definitely like a stream watch. When it comes to streaming, go check it out. To go to the movies, I would not like recommend.
yeah, from the trailer, I got the feeling that the movie's more about just showcasing The Rock's acting ability, Dwayne Johnson's acting ability, rather than, like, the story or the plot or the movie itself.
And the prosthetics do a lot of heavy lifting, like to
Yeah.
transform the character as well. It's not just a rock.
Yeah, so
Um,
it's more about his transformation and his acting showcase than the actual film itself.
yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out. I'm not running to theaters. I'm assuming it's flopping because it's just not a topic or a personality that people are interested in going to see. So for me, it's definitely a wait till it hits home home streams.
So wait, what you watched Steve on Netflix?
I did. I watched Steve on Netflix. Steve is a movie that it just premiered this weekend. It's with Cillian Murphy. Um, and it's about he basically plays a teacher at a reform school for troubled boys with behavioral issues. It is it's a British film, a British production, uh, and I want to say like it was great. I loved it. I thought it was really good. Um, one thing I could compare it to is although I didn't see much of it, I only saw like the first 2 episodes of this show. I want to compare it to The Bear.
Really?
It's yeah. So you saw The Bear, you really liked it, right?
Yeah, I like
You're
The
one of the
Bear.
people that really liked it. This movie is kinda, like, shot in the same sort of motion and action with, like there's just chaos in every scene going around, there's, like, a lot of things going around, people are shouting in the background, people are coming in and out of the frame, um, so it reminded me of, the little bit of The Bear that I saw, um,
Yeah,
and
Cillian Murphy's.
you know that's hard to pull off because there's just so many moving parts. There's so much going on. The camera work is excellent. The way it keeps up with all the movement. Um, it follows the characters from like one room to another room. The whole movie pretty much basically takes place in this boarding school. I thought the direction is great. The acting is superb. Maybe one of Cillian Murphy's best roles, I want to say. Um,
Oh wow, and he's been in a lot of good stuff.
and he's been in a lot of good stuff, so that's saying a lot.
I like that kid too, Jay. I can't say his last name. He played Shy in the movie. He's a good actor. He was Robin in Titans.
Oh,
He's been
was
in a
he?
couple of
Okay.
things. Yeah, he's
I
been in a
hadn't
couple of
seen
things.
him I hadn't seen him in anything else. Jay Licurgo,
There you go.
he was excellent in the movie. He's, out of all the boys in this reform school, he's, like, the main one they focus on, um, with his background and his story and his family and stuff. Uh, yeah, man, it's I really, really, you kinda gotta sit down and focus on it. It's not something you could, like, watch and walk around and do other stuff. It's really, like you know, you gotta just flow with it from beginning to end. It's high tempo. It does a great job of transitioning from like high tempo to slow tempo, fast to slow, seamlessly, like within the same scene. Um, it's just I thought it was beautiful. The way like it's just like it gives you like a breath. You're like breathing with the characters, and then you're like exhausted with the characters, and I thought it was excellent.
I
The
gotta check it out.
boys,
It felt
the boy,
heavy, like a very heavy topic. So I was like, oh,
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. Yeah, it is, and it's a topic that, you know, it's been depicted, like, you know, you got all those movies. Remember all those movies back in the '90s with, like, substitute teachers and, like, those inner city schools and, like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so it's a topic that's been depicted, but I've never seen it depicted like this,
So
with
this ain't
this
no
type
Gangster's Paradise, right? Michelle Pfeiffer.
no, 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 um, but yeah, you know, that's what I mean, like, the topic's been addressed, but man,
Yeah, I
the
gotta
way this
check it out.
movie was directed is, like, you know, I've only ever seen The Bear similar to it. Um, there's, the acting from the boys in the movie is, like, it's so believable, man. It's almost like I almost felt like I was watching a documentary because they just do such a great job portraying, their characters. Tracy Ullman is in this movie. She is, she's been around for a long time. I don't remember specifically what I know her from, but she's just been in so many things, man, like, for years and years. She was great in it too.
This director also directed Peaky Blinders. Well, some episodes, obviously.
Peaky Blinders, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's another Cillian Murphy too. He's in that.
Yeah.
All right. So I gotta check it out. I've been trying to get into spooky season right now, since we're in October, but I gotta check this out. There's so much
Yeah,
heavy
yeah,
stuff.
definitely check it out, man. It's kind of flying low under the radar on, Netflix. It's definitely featured on on their topics when you scroll down, but it's not, like, in the top, I believe, anything. Um, so yeah, man, it's a real honest look at these characters and how kids with anger issues live at a school like this. Really interesting.
Speaking of Netflix, real quick, I got a screener to watch, and it was War Machine. It didn't come out yet. It's in post production, and it's with Alan Richardson, Jai Courtney. It is very interesting. I can't say too much about it, but when it comes out, I would recommend people definitely go check it out. And Marvel Zombies, I just finished. I was watching that with my daughter. I thought it was pretty good. Ended on somewhat of a cliffhanger. If they don't come back with a season two, I am going to be very distraught.
Cool, man. Sticking to spooky season, like you mentioned, let's switch over to Monster, the Ed Gein story. Another Netflix. This one's number one for the week.
Wow, was this heavy? This one was friggin' heavy. I'm only
This
three
was a lot.
episodes in.
This was a lot, man. I have my thoughts on it. I wanna hear your thoughts first.
What? How
Um,
far did you get? What episode are you up to?
I'm up to episode 3.
Oh,
I
okay,
saw the
okay. So
first
am
2.
I.
I saw the first 2.
So I thought the girl that's in it. Oh man, I forgot who she's playing.
You're talking
Um,
about his, love interest?
Yeah, his love interest. I thought she was a figment of his imagination for a minute until he
Really?
did the babysitting. Yeah, the way they portrayed it, it almost
Oh,
felt like
interesting.
when she came into the candy shop or the malt shop, nobody else saw her except for him. He asked for 2 straws and the guy looked at him strangely. Up until that episode where she was introducing him to babysit, but it just feels like every moment, man, it's very heavy. It's good, and this guy is sick, and I love the way, um, Charlie Ham is, Hunnam is portraying him, but it's dark, man. I don't like the when they cut back and forth between, um, the movie, Psycho and the real life Ed Gein. Um, I don't think they need that, but I thought it was pretty good. It's definitely heavy though. It's a heavy watch.
Alright, the lady you're talking about, her name is Susanna Sun. That's the actor's name. She's playing Adeline Watkins, and that's an interesting take because I didn't get that from him. I thought when he first met her, um, I thought she was acknowledged at, like, the, little, like, cafe where they met or whatever, but thinking back to it, I think you're right. I think he's the only person sh she interacts with. I remember when we first see her, um, he orders, like, a milkshake or something and orders 2 straws.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying. And like the guy looks at him strange, and like the guy walks away, and she comes in. She never interacted with any other character up to this point. So, and then
Well, I mean, we're 2 episodes in, so, your theory might still go.
and the
I
other
think
thing too is he killed her in the shower. Like of course, everyone knows that from Psycho. And then he sees her at the shop the next day. So that
yeah,
threw me.
so, yeah. I'm glad you pointed that out because I might take a closer, examination of this, but, um, yeah, there's a lot of they play with a lot of, like, his imagination and then reality, and it's all intercut seamlessly, so you kinda don't know what's actually going on until, like, a few moments or scenes afterwards. The first time this happened was, that I remember was when he killed his brother. Do you remember that? He was in the barn, he was playing around and, like, hit his brother, over the head with an object in the back of the head. Um,
Yeah,
and
it's a
then they
lot of
showed
this.
then he's like crying and walking away because he thought he killed his brother, but then they showed his brother getting up in the background and talking to him, and just acting like it was all good. But then like he goes around, I think he talks to his mom, and then he comes back to the barn and they show his brother still there with like in a puddle of blood, showing that that was his imagination, him like wishing that his brother was still alive.
It does a lot of that. It does a lot of that, like, backwashing back and forth where you don't know if you're seeing things through his perception or reality.
Yeah. So
That's
that
why
was the
with
first.
her, because when that threw me off with his brother, and then his brother was talking to him and closed the door, and then he had already killed him, and then he
Yes.
threw him in the fire. Um, and then the same thing with the girl that he killed her, but then he's at the malt shop and she's introducing him to do babysitting. So it's like it's very like I don't know. It keeps me off balance. Like I feel like I'm always off balance. Like my foot's in the air and I'm trying to balance on one foot watching this, trying to figure out is this reality? Is this his
Yeah.
perception?
And then after his mom passes away, he keeps hearing her and talking to her and seeing her. So
Well, that's a
with that,
staple of Psycho.
it's more obvious, that he's
Yeah, yeah.
hallucinating. But with the other ones, it was kind of like you don't know what's going on until they kind of like make it obvious to you.
And I gotta
Re
keep pitching myself during this whole show because I keep thinking the cops are so incompetent, but they're not. It's just that this is from a different era. They didn't have like street cams. They didn't
Yeah,
have
there was
DNA.
no forensics, nothing.
Yeah. So it's like, of course, he could have got away with a lot of stuff he was doing at this time. And he plays like that's the other thing I don't like about this is like you don't know what to tell. Like, is he smart? Is he kind of like dumb? Like, does he have a defect? I can't tell with him. You
It's
know,
hard to tell. They're not stating that he's like has some sort of like mental issues. I mean, he's definitely psycho. He's definitely crazy, right? I mean, he's crazy because he's a killer and he does all these things. Um,
crazy, no doubt, but does he have a learning disability? Because
yes,
there's points where it looks like he's
it
kind of
seems like the
slow,
people he interacts with understand that. His brother, his mother, the shop owner,
but then there's other.
the girl is the only one that doesn't see that in him. But it could just be that, like she described him, he's just weird. Maybe he has like a speech impediment or like has a funny voice and
But
is just
see,
like quiet and reserved.
they play
So
that.
all those things make me think that he is like, someone that might be like mentally handicapped, but they showed parts of him where he's really smart, like
Yeah.
he's cutting up bodies and like doing like literally like surgery and autopsies and stuff. And
And the way he played the cops when they came to his house, he played the
yeah,
cops so well. He was like, he even started like
yeah,
leading
the
them.
way he faked his brother's death and all that. Yeah.
Well, not just that, but what about the bartender, the lady that owned the bar, and then when he killed her, and the cops came to his house,
Mhm.
and he was steering them towards her past history in Chicago.
Okay. Yeah, I don't
That
remember
was
if I got up to that part or not. That might have been towards the end of episode 2, but I don't remember.
But
Um,
he's playing the cops like a fiddle, and he always plays the card like, "Oh, we'll go see my mom." What is gonna happen? Like, when is the shoe gonna drop where he goes to see his mom, somebody he invites, and they're like, "Yeah, I'll go see your mom," and then they see that she's like a corpse. Like, he's doing it left and right. He's doing it to the girl. He brought her upstairs. He did it
he's
to the
smart. I mean,
cops.
this guy's a killer, almost like a serial killer, so you gotta assume he's smart at what he's doing.
And a lot
Um,
of like Nazi Germany things interwoven into this that kind of like spell that it was his kind of origin, you know. What got him the way he is seeing these images and reading
well,
about.
yeah, and they also mentioned how, when he was younger, looking at, like, comic books, like gory comic books and stuff, that his brain and this is where you kinda understand that he has to have some sort of mental disability because they said his brain couldn't process, like, reality between, like, comic books and fiction and the stuff he's seeing, so he's processing all that as normal. This guy is he's, like, killing people and doing all these gruesome, grotesque acts, but in
And
his mind, it's normal, so
Well, he's trying to normalize what he saw. He's trying to normalize it in his real life. So by normalizing it, a way to do that is mirroring. So he's doing the things he saw to make it seem normal to him so he can comprehend it.
Yeah.
That's what like the psychologist was saying. Do you
And
know?
real quick, the premise of the show, we forgot to mention it at the top of this topic, but the series explores the life of a convicted murderer and body snatcher, Ed Gein, through allusions to fictional culture works inspired by his crimes, such as Psycho, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Silence of the Lambs. Um, so I didn't know anything about this guy or his story before I started. Um, I didn't realize these movies, Psycho, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and the Silence of the Lambs, all were influenced by his crimes. Um,
I knew
but just
Psycho. I didn't know Chainsaw.
watching the first 2 episodes of this show and seeing what this guy did and he was capable of, it's so hard to digest and cringe that I don't think I'm gonna continue with this show. Just that's just me, as I think the acting is great. Yeah, I think, Charlie Hunnam is doing a great job.
What about
I
Alfred Hitchcock? Seeing him watching his own premiere of Psycho and how
Yeah,
people
so
were
I
reacting
did
to it.
like that. I did like that because I
That
was
was
left with
cool.
a bad taste in my mouth after the first episode. I was debating, like, do I wanna keep watching this? Is it just gonna be, like, this guy continuing to kill people and commit, like, horrible crimes? Like, I don't wanna put myself through this. But then I started watching episode 2, and then episode 2 kinda takes a complete different spin in the series where they're also telling the story of Alfred Hitchcock and the making of Psycho and how Psycho was influenced by this guy and his crimes. And that kinda drew me back into the show and, drew my interest back in because you're getting to see a second, like, a second narrative going on.
And I
And,
actually find that narrative very interesting, how
yeah,
Alfred Hitchcock changed the game. You know, we look at Psycho now and we're like, wow, that's, it doesn't hold up. Obviously, it's so old. It was from the
no,
1960s.
it had never been done before. He was the
But
first
it
one to do something
yeah,
like that.
and seeing, like, it really drove it home seeing the people's reaction in the theater watching this, and the shower scene, and, like, a woman going into labor, people throwing up, a father carrying his daughter out of the theater because she had
Yeah, that's
fainted.
great. That's crazy
It's
that
crazy,
all
right?
supposedly that all happened, I've heard that before about the movie.
But what a great way to, like, show what Alfred Hitchcock did at the time, how it was so different from everything else going on. Like, he brought horror home, man. It's intense. I love that second story I go that second storyline with Alfred Hitchcock going on.
Yeah, and it sounds like, they're gonna continue doing it with the other 2 movies, Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Silence of the Lambs, so I'm interested to see those, parallel narratives too. Although I'm not gonna continue seeing it, I think, for other people that can stomach this, um, it'd be interesting to watch the whole season
I think
and see those other movies.
I think I'm gonna continue on with it. I'm gonna see it to the end and see how it goes. Do you know, like, quick note, Anthony Perkins, the star of Psycho, his son, Osgood Perkins, is the one that did The Monkey, and he was also in Nope. Um,
Dang,
yeah,
Perkins, who's the original Perkins guy you're talking about?
Anthony Perkins, the one from Psycho, he's the main guy in Psycho. He's Norman Bates. His
Oh, so
son,
he's the guy they're showing in the show right now.
yeah, he's the one with the homosexual um
Oh, that's crazy.
issues.
His son is Osgood Perkins, I didn't know that.
Yeah, his son is Osgood Perkins, the one that did, The Monkey.
Wow, that's crazy. And so, yeah, that, it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one to digest. I mean, it's great.
Sorry, he also did Long Legs too. So his son, Norman Bates' son, or Anthony Perkins, his son Osgood Perkins did The Monkey. He did Long Legs. He did a couple things, but I like to see he's doing a new one that's coming out called The Keeper. I like his horror. See where he got it from his
Yeah,
father.
man. Alright, check it out, guys. It's, number 1 on Netflix. You got the stomach for it. We're gonna, pivot to, something completely different. We're gonna pivot to a crime drama, thriller. called Task on HBO. Uh, Paul, what did you think about this? I know you started watching it a little later than all of us. I've been watching it for a few weeks now. Bruno's been watching it since it started, I believe.
I am on episode 3 of this, and after watching um, Monster, everything was feeling really, really heavy. So when they got to the point with the kid and they had to kidnap the kid, I was dreading where it was going to go, and I'm glad it went a different route. I'm liking it. I like the drama. It's a good watch. I really am interested to see where it's going from here, and I like the actors in it. Um, so far, so good. Task is doing pretty well.
I love this show. I was looking forward to it from when I saw the preview and trailer on HBO. This show is about it's about an FBI agent who heads a task force that's trying to put an end to a string of robberies that's been happening. There's a guy and his friend. There's two guys are going around robbing drug houses in Philadelphia. Um, so it tells the story of. I love how this show tells the story of all the characters. Um, the uh, the guy committing the robberies. He's his name is Robbie, right?
Yeah.
Robbie Pendergrast. He's doing this out of desperation. He's kind of like he's poor. He's a single father. It seems like his wife left him. Um, he's also taken in his niece, who was his brother's daughter, after his brother was murdered by members of the bike gang that he was in. Um, his brother was kind of like having an extramarital relationship with this woman who was she wasn't part of the motorcycle club, but she was married to one of the guys in the motorcycle club. So that guy found out um, the guy Jason, his name is Jason Wilkes on the show. He found out he had Robbie's brother killed, um, and his wife still keeps in touch with Robbie, which was the person she was having an affairs with's brother. Um, and through her, we learned that she's tipping them off and giving them clues as to like stash houses and when drops are being made, when money's being moved around, so they can have the heads up and like the inside scoop on when to rob these stash houses. Um,
And they're
I really
garbage
like the
collectors.
way I really like the way the show kind of reveals things slowly and you know we know they're robbing houses from the beginning. We don't know that there's a snitch in the motorcycle club that's tipping them off, and then how it slowly revealed the story about his brother and this woman, and that it's the woman doing it. So I thought that was really cool and interesting the way they.
At first, it throws you off the trace because you have Cliff and Robbie, garbage man collectors, and they're going through garbages of what they think are, you know, drug houses. And they
Yeah,
see like scales and like different things. So they know, but then you find out they're also being tipped off. So
yeah,
that's just them doing their homework to make sure the house has, um, drugs, the actual drug dealers there. So they could knock the house and steal the money and the drugs.
yeah. You're led to begin to believe from the beginning that these guys are just doing their jobs as garbage men, going around collecting stuff, keeping an eye on the people's houses who they're picking up garbage from. They're noticing some suspicious activity, seeing like drug paraphernalia in their garbage, and you think like, oh, these guys are smart. That's how they're doing it. But you slowly learn there's more to that. Um,
And
the
there's also,
characters. What I really liked about this show is every character has a story, a background. It's deep. It's rich. Mark Ruffalo, the main. I want to say he's probably the
protagonist.
main character in this, definitely the main guy heading the FBI task force. He's going through, like, a lot of stuff in his life, his wife passed away. He has, 2 adopted children, one of which, accidentally or we don't know if he accidentally did, but one of which had issues, behavioral issues. He was, had some mental disability too. He killed the wife, and now he has his biological daughter and his stepdaughter who lives with him, and they're dealing with this boy, his adopted son, going to court on trial. He's in jail right now for the manslaughter for the death of Mark Ruffalo's wife, and they're debating whether they need to you know testify against him or for him. And he's going through so much in his life, and I want to say it's like the typical Mark Ruffalo character where he's like this slow paced, slow talking guy. He's like full of stress. He's just like chugging along. But yeah, every character, man, is just so deep and rich. And
So basically, in this story, you have two forks. You have the antagonists and the protagonists, right? And the antagonist is probably three main characters. It's Cliff, Robbie, and Robbie's niece, Maeve, right? Or I think that's her name. And then you have the protagonist, the task force, led by Mark Ruffalo, Tom. And then you have three people under him. You have Anthony Grasso, you have Aaliyah, and you have Stover. And you kind of like dive into each of their backstories a little bit, um, and seeing like they're two different winds coming at each other. And it was so the forks are about to meet as Mark Ruffalo and his task force find out more information, and they're bearing down now on Robbie and Cliff. So it's interesting because you do have some sympathy for Robbie. He didn't hurt the kid, and then his niece tried to even bring the kid back. And then you have sympathy for Mark or for Tom because of his family and all that backstory that you just gave, with his wife and his adopted children and his biological child, his daughter. So it's interesting to see how where this heads off. Who the bad guys are, but they do just enough to give enough sympathy for him that you kind of care for the character. So if something happens to him, you're gonna feel it.
yeah, that's great because it's like you said, you feel for them. They're really not bad people. He's doing this as a necessity. Um,
And revenge.
some can argue it's a victimless crime. They were just robbing drug dealers. But then this one robbery went wrong. Some people got killed. A child got kidnapped. Um, so up until that moment, it was kind of like a victimless crime. Um, and then all this unfolds, and we're here, left with these characters, and they're the result of this big like turning point in their lives.
Now, there's a couple of big actors here. Mark Ruffalo. There's the guy who plays Anthony Grasso, the guy on the task force. He was in House of Dragons. And then
Oh, is he? I've never seen him before.
yeah, he's on House of Dragons. He was playing one of the guards for I forgot which house. He was pretty good. He was kind of like a snake he ended up being in the show. And then you have the guy who plays Robbie, Tom. Can you pronounce his last name? What's his last name? Pelifrey. And
Yeah,
he,
Tom Pelphrey.
and he's been in a lot of stuff. He was in Outer Range, um, Ozark. He was the crazy brother. So he's been in a couple things. He's a pretty good actor. I think so far, this is a really good gig for him. He's doing really well in this. Anybody stand out to you? Like, are there any characters that you find favorable? Any actors that stand out to you? I like Stover too.
What'd you think about the FBI agents? This is I love the show. This is the only like issue I had with the show, or like my only complaint is the three FBI agents that were assigned under Mark Ruffalo's character, Tom. They just don't seem like believable FBI agents to me. They seem like a quirky ragtag team of like young people who were I mean, I don't even think they were FBI agents. They just became they didn't really explain. They just like were assigned as FBI agents after one of them was the woman Elizabeth, she was like a state trooper. Uh, Grasso's character was local police in the county, and then the other woman, Aaliyah, I forgot what background what she came from. I don't know if it was military or law enforcement, but they didn't really explain how they ended up FBI agents.
She's an
And
ex-con. Leah is an ex-con because they made reference to that she had been a prisoner. Anthony
Aaliyah,
Grasso, yeah,
Aaliyah was an ex-con.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that they said that she had like she was definitely an ex-con. I think I could have
I
sworn
don't
they
think.
mentioned in the story.
No, no, no. I don't think that's right. If I definitely don't remember them saying that. She's like way. She out of all three of them, she seems like the most qualified one to be an FBI agent.
I think
But
Grasso holds his own too. Stover's the one that's always choking.
yeah, and the way they introduce her, like she's like arguing on the phone, she's like dropping things, she's late for the meeting, like they kind of like started her off on the wrong foot, and it's like, yo, this woman is like she can't get her life together. Like, how is she supposed to be an FBI agent? And they even said that, as a state trooper, she wasn't doing her job right. So you're telling me they moved her from being a state trooper to like a higher position as an FBI agent, even though she was like failing at being a state trooper or something?
Yeah, I think she just
That
got
kind of makes
dropped.
no sense. If she was like flunking out of that, why would they move her to a higher position?
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
think
that's my only complaint, man. I just thought the background of these characters, the FBI agents, wasn't very believable. And just the way they kind of just act like way too immature. But that's my only complaint about it, and that's just nitpicking because everything else is excellent about this show. Um, I'm a big fan of crime dramas, so
I could have
um,
sworn there was somewhere that says she was ex-con, but I know she talked about her domestic abuse history. That's how she got that wife to talk.
yeah, that's what she pointed out, a scar, and that she lost her sense of smell permanently because of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the show's excellent. I'm all caught up. I know you're not. I hope you catch up to it because I believe the season finale is airing this weekend, and I hopefully on the next pod we'll all be together and get to cover the season finale.
Wait,
Um,
no, no
so
way. It's got 7 episodes. It's only got 5 so far.
okay, so then it's 2 episodes away. Although if the last of the last episode, the end of the last episode, like really seemed like they're closing in the story completely, and the next episode was gonna be the last one. That's what it felt like. So I'm interested in seeing how they're gonna squeeze a seventh episode out.
All right, so I'm 2 behind. I'm gonna catch up 4 and 5. So you like how it's progressing so far? You recommend
Yeah, this is
definitely
excellent. This is
finishing,
probably the
you
best.
like it?
Yeah, it's probably the best series I've seen all year, in my opinion.
Damn,
So
all year, really?
yeah, so just you know, we'll cover the season finale when it happens, and I hope everyone else tunes in. That's all the time we have for today. And stay tuned to the next one, guys. Hit that subscribe button, follow us if you like what we're doing. More to come. Thank you.